Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Ask Ardyce podcast. My lovely grandma is here to answer more of your pressing questions about life, love, and everything. Grandma, you want to say hello?
Hi, everybody. Hope your day went well and you're having a great evening.
So, today we have a whole schwack of questions again, so we'll probably split this up into 2 episodes. We'll see how it goes, but we'll dive right into it here with a question from Laura Delange, my old roommate.
Hi, Laura. I think I can't say that, can I? Because she can't hear me.
You can say hi, Laura. She'll listen to this after.
Okay.
So you can totally say hello. So she says, Grandma, first, I just want to say hello from afar and thank you for being a part of many of my many fond memories in Calgary. I miss your warm hugs and kind smile. And so her question is, women of all ages through time have experienced shame and blame around appearance and body image. I'm wondering if you could speak to the conversations you had as a young adult and the ones you have now regarding this topic. Have they changed? And if so, how?
Laura, I think in my generation, no, they haven't changed. I hear some really unkind comments here in the lodge where I live. Of course, there's some of us that jump in very quickly and say not appropriate.
Right.
But I really believe it's evolving. I really believe people are starting to accept us for who we are, not what we look like. And especially women, because women try so hard to be skinny all the time. And I know I spent many years of my life being very heavy. And I was fortunate. It didn't bother me as much as it did other people. But some people really are really self-conscious about their body image, whether it's slim or fat or tall or short or what it is. They just have a hard time.
What did you do to basically not care about what other people think? Because, you really have been comfortable with your body, and I think that's made me and my sisters a lot more comfortable about our bodies. But where does that come from? What do you do to feel good about that?
Well, once again, I go back to my mom believing in me.
Yeah.
My mom always believed I could do anything, and it didn't matter. I love sports, and I love to be active and everything. So even when I was heavy, I still stayed active. And I think that was the big difference for me, was I just didn't let anything that stop me from doing anything or trying anything.
Absolutely. So it was more about what you did with your life than what you looked like. If you were doing what you wanted to and your body wasn't getting in the way of what you did, that was the important thing, right?
That's for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Great answer, Grandma. So next question is Josephine LoRe. She had another question for you.
I hope she's not drunk.
Yeah, maybe
Sorry,
she'll be...
Josephine, that wasn't a good thing. After I said that, I thought, I expect that girl to drink the whole bottle of wine.
Yeah. I don't know if I sent you the text from her saying she was going to just take it bit by bit, so...
She was going to cork it, yeah.
Yeah. Smart idea, Josephine. So hopefully she's listening to this with a glass of bubbly in her hand as well, or of her mimosas that she made after the fact. But I find that through the stages of life, we acquire more wisdom, she says. So the person I was in my 20s changed with the arrival of my children and how much they taught me about the world. My question is this: how has being a grandmother helped you? I haven't had the experience yet of grandmothering, if you disregard pets, and I'm just looking. Right? She has a couple fur babies at home, but she says, I'm just looking for your take on it. Thank you for sharing with us. So yeah, how has being a grandmother helped you?
Josephine, the wonderful thing about being a grandmother, you can do anything you want with them. Kind things, nice things, but you can do anything you want with your grandchildren, and you don't have to worry about it, and they're really good for you. They've been really well disciplined at home, so they're really good when they come to your house, and that way they get lots of treats and get to make stuff and do stuff. And grandparenting, Josephine, is wonderful. You'll love it if you ever get the chance.
Absolutely. And, some of the fondest parts of my childhood and my memories is anything goes at grandma's. My mom was like a really healthy eater advocate, but at grandma's we got to have Lucky Charms for breakfast, and we got whatever we wanted to eat whenever we wanted, got to watch TV and just have fun, and we did so many cool things together. So I gotta say that as the grandchild, it's been really fun from my end too.
I'm glad.
Yeah. Next question is from Ashton Chugh, and I was telling you before the episode started, he actually asked these questions during our last episode. He texted me and I didn't see them until after, so this is a long overdue answer to Ashton's questions. So, first question, what natural disasters have you lived through? And what are some things you learned about humanity, society, and people?
This is a tough one for me because we had natural disasters, certainly when I was growing up. The thing that I think I remember the most is how Black people were treated in the South and here, everywhere. They were treated so poorly. It was just so difficult to watch and to see and to hear. And it went on and on and on into even today sometimes. And I know it's not a natural disaster, but it's a disaster. It's a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. We should all treat each other the same.
So you're saying basically that inequality is a disaster in itself. That's worse than any of the physical disasters that you've experienced.
That's right. I mean, we had a flood right where I lived in our ranch land, and the houses were just full up. It was just terrible. We got in the boat and went down and looked, and here's people's stuff floating and their fridges and everything ruined. And it was just, it really made me stop and think about how fortunate I was. And I think that stuck with me all of my life. I really do.
Wow. And I mean, you also lived through the flood here in Calgary as well. You had to...
How could I forget that one?
And I'm going to say that you having to come in the middle of the night, I think you took a sleeping pill that night or something, didn't you?
Every night.
Yeah. So she came all groggy to our house with her leg and her leg stand and all that, Grandma, just ready to go. And... I think in the middle of the night, Spencer, our roommate's friend, came and crashed on the couch as well. So there's this 6 foot something, I think 6'4" stranger who waltzes in and crashes on the couch with Grandma, and Grandma doesn't even bat an eyelash. I thought that was so wonderful.
Well, your roommates always get up and get ready to go to work, and I didn't even hear them. I just snored away.
Yeah, Grandma, when she is asleep, she is asleep, and... yeah, you can hear it by her wonderful characteristic snoring that you haven't bothered her. You'll know she's awake.
Yeah, but I also like that time because I got to cook and all kinds of things with you, and play games with you kids and everything.
We loved it.
Even though it was a terrible, terrible time, right?
Yeah, so I guess natural disasters kind of bring people together in a way, hey?
Yes, it does.
Have you found that with this disaster, Grandma?
Oh, heaven, Jess, Miranda. And I think the big thing with this one is social media.
Yes.
Social media has allowed us to reach out to each other because they want us to stay, quite a ways apart from one another,
Totally.
So social media has really been wonderful. Phones are wonderful. Texts are wonderful. All those are wonderful. But face-to-face with some of the stuff we have today is really rewarding.
Isn't it special? Yeah, and how special that, all these questions are coming in from social media, and you're answering them on a podcast that we're going to post on social media. This is how we're connecting right now. Really cool, hey?
Yeah, and I love it that you and one day, and then your dad and Janet came another day and visited me through the window. Put our phones on speaker, and there we were looking at each other and just talking away.
Yeah, I thought that was so special. When it was warm enough out, I was on a bike ride, and I thought, why not stop by Grandma's and just wave to her through her window? And we had a nice, 5-minute chat, just catching up a little bit face to face. So,
yep.
Yeah, it makes you a little creative, doesn't it, to get some quality time together.
Ashton, this isn't a big disaster, but today they took all of our puzzles, all of our books, all of our cards, everything. Everything's gone.
Oh, no!
Yeah, it has to be. We were waiting for it. We expected it, but I was able to grab my 3 new ones. So I have those. So I'm doing it in my room. And your dad managed to get me 8 more puzzles on through Amazon, but that was it. He couldn't get me any more. They're really gone because so many people are doing them.
No way, puzzles?
Oh yeah, so many people are doing puzzles to pass their time.
I bet, yeah. I never even thought about that the puzzle industry would be booming right now. That makes a ton of sense. That's awesome. Well, I think this had so many good answers, Grandma, of ways to stay connected and all that. I hope we answered your question, Ashton, about, what we learned about people through natural disasters. I think Grandma's just saying it brings people together, helps them connect. So I think that's where we're going to end this episode, and we'll probably split it up into 2. Ashton has one more question for you that we'll ask you next episode, and then we'll finish off with the other few that we got from other individuals. Is there anything you want to say to our listeners? Anything you want to say to sign off, Grandma?
Thank you very much for keeping me live out there. I really appreciated it. I said to Miranda, what, we have more questions? She said, oh yeah, we sure do. So thank you all very much.
Yeah, they just keep coming because Grandma just keeps on giving great answers. So thank you so much, and feel free to comment more wonderful questions so that we'll have more to gab about next week. So that was Ask Ardyce. I hope you got as much out of that as I always do. If you have any other questions, feel free to post them on Facebook, and I'll nag Grandma with some more questions soon.